Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Awaken Sunday Live Q&A. Today, Awaken the World presents We Never Walk Alone. And good morning or afternoon, everybody. So we had a fantastic meditation this morning, and that was just wonderful to see. And I'm going to get Kelly to put a quote, or oh, look at that. Jennifer came on and it fixes my commenting for some reason. It's not until the first person comments that it actually lines itself back up again. Hello again, Jennifer. So how did you find the meditation this morning? I'm curious. I know Jasmeet said that she really enjoyed it, and we'd be curious to know the sunshine. Awesome. That's great to hear. So today, this is the one today is basically to remind everyone again, about some of the truths of our existence, some of the things that will help make your journey a lot easier on the way. And as I said when posting the replay for the meditation today, that it is about the meditation, but what I'm really interested in is getting you to become aware of the spaciousness that opens up within you after the meditation, that you can actually sense it, you can become aware of that. And that is really what it's all about, because it is that spaciousness which allows spirit to literally pour in and fill that space. And that's what I want for you. I really do. Every single one of you. I want to see your cups overflowing. And the way to do that is to help you empty your cup. And this is a big problem. It really is. And, as all things with ego, so many people are so lost in their heads. And, I see it in Kelly so much. And she's quite fortunate because she has someone who constantly reminds her. Sometimes she allows it to frustrate her. And that's her ego fighting ego. But most times, it's just great for her because she gets to be reminded as soon as she goes off track. I'll pull her back into the present moment. And it's an ongoing thing, but it really, really helps out. And that's my goal with you too, is to bring these meditations and bring these talks and bring you to a state where you can begin to empty your mind. Make space in that cup. We never walk alone, and everyone feels they do walk alone. Oh, wonderful that you sense that spaciousness, Jennifer, because it really is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And to live in that spaciousness makes such a difference. It really does. 99.99% of the stress of life comes right off, and that's a really big help. We're going to talk about something else that can help relieve a little stress, okay? And that's the idea, we all think that we're walking this journey alone. We all, even though we may intrinsically understand that we feel we have friends, we see those people as still outside of ourselves. We have family, perhaps supportive, sometimes not so supportive. And we see those people as perhaps part of us, but still outside of ourselves. And ultimately, we think in our minds that there's only ourselves who hears our own voice. And this couldn't be further from the truth. And it all begins with understanding that we never left that spiritual realm. We didn't. The convention of, leaving the spiritual realm and taking relative birth is very much, again, like that picture of the atom we all used to see on the wall in our school, and we used to think that atom was a real solid physical object, when in fact it's not. It's simply energy. What's more than that, it's energy that doesn't manifest itself all the time in the same place, and it tends to be there and then not there. And this is very much the truth about any of the conventions that we try to use to describe what's actually happening. What's really happening is you're simply placing your awareness on and in and manifesting this physical being you would call you. Ah, hi Sue. Nice to see you from New Zealand. Yeah, I guess you probably weren't at the meditation this morning because that would have been, okay, 5 hours. Well, that's, yeah, it would have been early, very early. It's the next day there, honey. It's actually Monday morning, just like she says, 8 a.m. Monday morning. So we have all these concepts that there's all this outside of ourselves and that we came from somewhere and we've manifested ourselves here on this earth. And, you know, that's like quasi-true. It's not like totally true. It's not true. The true truth is that you never left heaven. You never left that spiritual realm. You're simply manifesting part of your consciousness and part of your being here in what you would call the physical realm. But in fact, there really is no veil. The veil is just that. The veil itself is an illusion. To think that there's something that separates us, something that could separate the heavens from the earth, is all illusory. It is all through false thought, false understanding, misunderstanding the truth of our being. And I want to remind you of the truth. And the truth is that we never left. We are all still sitting around that beautiful table, watching the shadows dancing on the wall on the other side of the campfire, and dreaming a human dream. But we never left the room. We never left the forest. We never left the space. We're all still there. We will always be there. Every being ever connected with you is part and parcel of your experience. And this is something you can never forget. It does not matter how brief the connection. The connection can be a smile on a sidewalk. And you know, I have read some beautiful posts where the simple act of a smile or the simple act of saying a few kind words has stopped someone from taking their own life that night. In fact, sometimes the person's actually been on the way to kill themselves. And one person who just understood that we're all connected and said one simple nice thing to that person changed the course of that person's life. And it's perfect. It's all right. It would have been okay either way. And we're going to talk about this because this is one thing that people get a little confused with. And I want you to understand this in the deepest part of your being. God, that sea of consciousness, travels with you always. It is you. It is manifesting right alongside of you, in you, around you. God hears every word you think. That sea of consciousness, the every being that you've ever connected with, all of that works in harmony to place you at the center of existence. Just as that sea of consciousness is quite capable of placing every other being at the center of the universe in that sea of consciousness. You are that sea of consciousness, of course, personified, individuated. Every encounter, every meeting we have with another, every time we spy beauty, every time we spy what we do not find beautiful, that sea of consciousness is there manifesting itself. Consciousness is there. God itself is there. Oh, thank God your cake didn't burn. Good. Looks like Anna's serving up cake for everybody. Well, we're just going to have to make do with our fresh strawberry pie. Won't be quite the same as your cake, I'm sure. And we are glad that your cake did not burn. What we need to remember is that at no time can we actually ever be alone. And when people talk to me about feeling alone, I really have to say that I have no conscious memories of that anymore. So I have a little bit of a difficult time with it, but at the same time, I think I understand. And we make the mistake that we cannot speak directly to that sea of consciousness, that we cannot address our higher selves, and that our higher selves will not answer through us. It happens all the time. And I'm going to give you an example how this works, okay? As I said this morning, I had posted a short little note with the Tonglen notice regarding what had happened to me regarding the bee who had clearly been infected by that virus we have going around up here that's killing all the bees. And, you know, here's what happens in our lives. We tend to allow the mind to start producing thoughts about what we're seeing. And the thoughts will come and go, and they'll come really fast, and we'll get confused. And we won't know what to do. Or we'll wonder if the action we're going to take is the right action, whether it's something we should do or should not do. And in this egoic thought process, we lose reality. We lose the truth. We lose the core purpose of the experience that we are here to have right here, right now. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you've been bad. It doesn't mean that you failed in some way. These experiences will keep coming and keep coming and keep coming over and over and over again, and there is no failure. What to understand is this. When you come from a place of silence within, the natural action rises spontaneously from within your being. There is no should, there is no should not. There is no question, there is no doubt. There is no concern that what you're doing is right or wrong. You are taking the highest action available from your highest being within you and carrying it out, manifesting it out in the material world. When you come from that place, you can literally do no harm. Keep this in mind. When you truly come from this place, every action you will take will flow, and you will do no harm in the process. Ultimately, the harm, of course, is something that we end up doing to ourselves because we are truly never, never alone. I have taken a little twist on a meditation directly from Buddha himself, actually. And I want to teach this meditation, and this can be used also as an affirmation, but you can use it as a mantra, if you will. And you can certainly pass it on to someone else who may be sick or suffering, who may be having troubles with their past. You can help them calm themselves, you can help them relax, and you can work through this simple meditation. This is called the I am not meditation. You know, when we talk about what we are, we of course are talking in words. And the words are really limited, that they can at best point in the general direction. When we talk about what we're not, we actually have a little more success with words because we're definitely not. I am not my senses. You are not those things that come to your attention. You are not the judgments that you may place on those things that come to your attention, or the judgments you may feel are being placed on you. You are none of those things. I am not my body. You are not this physical shell. You are not this physical emanation of energy. You are a truly powerful spiritual being having a human experience, manifesting this body energetically. But what you are is in all places at all times simultaneously. Spreads from the one side of the universe to the other, and has an infinite ability to create and to experience and to grow and to evolve. I am not my memories. You are not the things that you blame yourself from in your past. You are not the guilt you carry. You are not those things which were done to you in your mind. You are not the pain that your body may have taken on in the past. I am not my talking mind. You are not that voice you hear in your head. You are that profound, wondrous, sublime silence that is taking it all in, that is hearing the voice, but not responding. That is what you truly are. I am not born, nor do I die. That which you are has never been born and can never die. What we see as birth and death are convenient ways to explain the transition from one energy phase into another, from one level of consciousness into a denser level of consciousness, and then back into a higher vibration again. We are all in our heads, and this is where a lot of the problem begins. And even that is a misconception, because we would assume, because we're used to looking out from the eyes, that our intelligence that we carry around in this body actually exists somewhere in this box. And that's not really the case. The entire body field is highly intelligent. As I've said before, it lives in perfect truth. You can look to your body anytime to tell you when you're kidding yourself, when you're taking yourself down unnecessarily negative pathways, lying to yourself. Your body will warn you of this. Your body will speak to you. When you are feeling alive, when you are feeling energized, when you are feeling joyful, your thoughts are what is manifesting that. When those feelings of joy and love and compassion begin to rise spontaneously, your thoughts will follow along. And you will cease to feel those negative emotional states. Why? Because those emotional states that we deem as negative, and we call those feelings, are the alarm centers from our higher being, those alarm bells that ring in our body, and we say, I don't feel well, or I feel sad. Our thoughts have done it. And we can get a grip on those thoughts. Meditation is the most profound, wonderful way that I can think of to help silence that mind. Along with the I am not is the idea of sacrificing. In that, sacrifice everything. And I am not just talking about sacrificing points of view or beliefs or the past or the future. I'm talking about offering every minute, every moment up to the divine. Ask yourself to simply be led. Have no other thought in your head of simply being led on the path that you need to follow. And take faith, and you will find soon that you are walking that path easily, peacefully, wonderfully. How do we walk with the Creator? You know, I'm always reminded of that footprints in the sand kind of poem. And it always seemed kind of funny to me, because I thought, okay, well, God was carrying me through the worst of it. Was he stumbling around a lot? Because, boy, it wasn't a great ride anyways. God walks beside us, in us, through us, around us, approaches us, helps us. We provide the help as God to another. And how do you walk with the Creator consciously? You stay aware. You stay in the present moment. And when you stay in the present moment, when you stay in that sense of stillness and profound silence within, when the candle of your being stands still and strong and does not waver, You will live and walk in the conscious presence of the Creator at all times. It can't help but happen. The only time we lose that connection, and that connection is not lost, what happens is we lose sight of the connection. We forget that we're connected. Whenever our head gets taken away, whenever we get involved in the thoughts in our mind, whenever our minds are consistently chattering on and on, we separate ourselves from the divine. We separate ourselves from that higher source that communicates only in the silence, only within the stillness of the being. And again, that's the purpose of the meditation. To make you aware at the end of that beautiful spaciousness before the mind can start up again and begin to fill it, as it always does. Hello, Devora. Oh, that's an awesome little Giphy thing there. After you've done that simple I am not meditation, you can follow with this. And, I don't like to go much farther outside of I am than maybe these one or two extra words, okay? After you're done the I am not, I am. I am eternal. You are eternal. I am life itself. You are life itself. We would suppose that life is happening to us, but we are indeed manifesting life through ourselves. All of it. All of it being manifest through this lens we would call the mind. Deal with the mind, deal with life. That's simple. I am, and there's really nothing more to say. In that I am, all your power exists. Everything exists. And there's a reason why that creative sea of consciousness wants us to leave it there. Because when we follow it with anything else, we will create it. But there's another thing that happens. When it happens, you collapse the entirety of creation down to that one magic word. So, for example, if you convince yourself, I am sad, you're going to experience sadness. You will become sadness. If you say, I am aware, you will experience awareness. You will become awareness. But when you leave the I am open, what you're really doing is stating right back to that sea of consciousness, the same I am it gave out to all of creation. Allowing that sea of consciousness to work with you, to guide you without your personality in the way, without the words in your head in the way, to show you the path that it has in store for you, the path that will see the fulfillment of all your true desires, not the desires of the mind, not the desires of the little self, but the desires of the higher self that wants the very best and the suffering to end and the peace and the harmony and the gift that you are to humanity to start flowing out. That's really about it. It's a little bit of a short one today, and I do apologize for that. We have a good lineup for next week, and that will be posted soon. And really looking forward to working out how I can get the computer system and stuff down on the deck so we can do some great meditations by the deck. This Wednesday, we'll be doing a new meditation again. Keep in mind, it'll be posted before end of day tomorrow. I invite you all to come Come to that gateless gate. Come sit on the same meditation pillows as every master, every person who's ever meditated in the past comes to sit on. Much love. Namaste to you all. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon.